the DORK podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the DORK podcast with Davey. It's the DORK podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag DORK podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Adballs. He is Rax Von Drax. All hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan Davey. Davey, how are you?
I got to tell you, I'm having a great night. I came in, I didn't sound deep.
No, you didn't. You
tonight.
Sounded great. Like
I feel great. I sound great. You look great. Like, we're
Thanks.
gonna have a good night.
I needed that tonight.
Yeah.
So bad. It has to do with the connection. It has to be the connection. My shit's fine.
You know what, Ryan? You'll enjoy this. So it's the holiday season's upon us as we are early December right now. And we are a family here at the Keefe house the last 2 years where we do family jammies, right?
Okay.
Family Christmas jammies.
I love the family jammies. I have a good family jammy Christmas story, but continue.
All right, so this one's an okay story, admittedly. It's fine. It's a fine story. I wanted to share it though. So like, full with like the bandana for the dog. You get like either a little onesie,
I love that.
a little set of jammies for the kid, and then me and my wife wear the thing. So we did that. I guess the last 3 years, ever since we had our daughter, we've done it. So then this year, my wife's like, "There's nothing out there." She's like, "Stuff is either way too expensive or it's like sold out." So she's
or
like,
"It's like crap, or you don't want it." Yeah,
right, or it's junk. So she's like, "I found
fucking junk."
Fucking chode jeans. Fucking
So
junk.
she found one. Yeah.
She found one with a caveat. She goes, "Well, they run really big and they don't have men's sizes." I'm like, okay. She's like, "So I got myself a woman's medium and I got you a woman's large." I'm like,
that doesn't sound right.
No. And for those of you who haven't seen me in person, I'm incredibly average. I'm 5'11", 200 pounds. It's like incredibly average. Not too small, not too big.
But if they asked him on a football roster, he's 6'1", 210.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's super fast.
Yeah.
No, but like, so that's like a normal sized dude probably in the world today. It is not a woman's large in jammies.
No.
So
God, no.
we get it in. She looks at it. She goes, "Here, try this on." So it's like a long sleeve top. That's the first thing I put on. It is like a low cut one, tight against the chest down to here, chest hair everywhere. It
Just
looks
blasted nips,
hair where there shouldn't be. Then she's like, "All right, at least try the pants." She's laughing. She's like, "Try the pants on. Try the pants on." It's like they were painted on, like they were like just like spandex up, just nothing to the imagination down there.
Like an early 2000s Britney Spears video. It's like low-rise jeans and like a low-cut top.
So I told her, I was like, "What if we had Davey come take family photos of us and we didn't say a word and I just came out in that?"
I would piss, then shit, and then faint.
Yeah, that's all.
Would
you
probably
could.
be so good. Or
So
Job said Will Ferrell in that America skit.
It was definitely, it was ridiculous. And we're like, she's like, "Well, these aren't even smaller than they're supposed to be," but she was laughing. And so this year, I guess that's out. I think they're all going to be able to dress like it, and I'm going to try to like piece it together with shit that I have that's like kind of in the ballpark. But it's like,
yeah, so that's awesome. So we did the same thing for a while. We lived in Connecticut. We did like the Polar Express in Essex. Like you do the thing, you get on the train and like they bring you hot chocolate and Santa and Mrs. Claus and some elves.
Yeah.
Songs the whole time or whatever. And most people who go like do like the matching. They do the family jams. They do like the family jammies and whatever.
Of course.
So here, where this guy I work with at the school, he teaches math and he's a football coach and just kind of like a gruff, like little dude and just kind of like sourpuss all the time.
Yeah.
So his whole family's in matching pajamas except him.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'm trying to play along with the guy. I'm like, "Oh, like, how'd you get out of this?" And he looks me dead in the fucking eye. I'm gonna look in the camera and do this. He goes just like this. He goes, "I do enough." And just like, I was like, okay.
Geez, that's a touchy subject. I do enough.
I do enough. I was like, Jesus, man. He's got like twin girls. They're like my daughter's age. And he's got like a little boy. And he's just like, yeah, I do enough.
He's like, "I drive a Dodge Stratus."
Exactly. I was like, that energy. I'm like, I have a covered parking space for my Mitsubishi Galant. Big time stuff.
We're not keeping score, dude. You just aren't dressed like the rest of your family.
Yeah, but way to big time your whole family. Like,
seriously,
sweet.
They're scrubs. I don't need to do that.
I run this fucking I run this fucking ship. Like, okay,
I heat this house with money that I make to heat the house. Like, all right, dude.
All right, dude.
Don't worry about it.
You're a high school geometry teacher.
Yeah.
Relax.
Let's not fucking go wild. Yeah, that's good. So anyway, let us know what your family jammies
Family
situation
jams.
is. All right, right. We have a shit ton to get to in the news. The news might be
Jesus.
heavier than the topic du jour
I
today.
know.
So let's dive in. No, that's not it.
Let it rock, though.
This week in Dork.
All right, right. There's been a just tsunami of trailers since our last episode. And so let's get right into it, and we can unpack this one as long as we want. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 had a trailer. I'm sure you guys have all seen it by now. We tweeted it out at Dork Podcast. May 5th of next year, it comes out. And I'll tell you, that's exactly 5 months from now, right? Or 6 months? 5 months. 6 months. Whatever
6 months.
However you do the math. Yeah, 6 months. So we are the half birthday from Guardians.
Oh,
which
speaking of holiday, do you know what today is? So first of all, it's my father's 70th birthday. So happy birthday to Iron Mike Davey.
Oh, it's my father-in-law's birthday as well.
Look at that. What's his name? Isn't Mike? Is it?
It is not.
All right. It's Krampusnacht
Tonight.
Krampus
Sneaky decent film.
I know, but it's also the before the feast day of St. Nicholas, which is December 6th. Tonight is Krampusnacht. So happy Krampusnacht to everybody.
To each and everyone out there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when they announced Guardians 3, it felt like it was 10 years away. And maybe it was from the time they announced it, but it's sneaking up. There's only one other Marvel movie between now and that. So
the Ant-Man, right?
The Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantum Mania that comes out right around Valentine's Day. That could be a nice Valentine's Day present, perhaps for your beau. You guys could go, not you, right, but the plural you could go see the film. So Guardians 3 trailer comes out, and we're gonna go right through this thing all the way through. It's like a 2-minute trailer, came out, pretty sweet. We both have it up just for copyright reasons. We're not gonna play the audio, but we're just gonna start it up. You got Peter Quill on a ship saying we were gone for quite a while, and he's not kidding. And then
we see,
go ahead.
Then we got him as we get a shot of a new, which seems like a new ship, which we were introduced to in this Christmas special, right?
Yeah. So pause it right
there. Bowie,
which is a cool looking ship, and the world looks cool that they're going into. And then jump to them walking out of the ship. So now you get Star-Lord, Nebula, Drax, Groot, who I would say is like teenage to 20s Groot,
and built like a brick shithouse now too. He's not like a tall, thin thing anymore. He's like
no.
I also noticed there's a shot of the back of the ship. It looks like we're in New York.
Okay, so maybe we're coming back to.
I see a Statue of Liberty. I see what looks like the Hudson River, but looks like New York to me.
Statue of Liberty. Let me take a look.
Yeah. So if you look at the back of the ship, the back of the Bowie, when they show the engines, it looks like there's a Statue of Liberty in there.
Interesting, because last time we saw the Statue of Liberty, remember in Spider-Man, it looked a bit different.
Sure did.
Captain America stuff in there. So now they're going down to like a Pleasantville type of situation. They're coming off the ship. Again, it's just 5 of them. No sign of Rocket at this point.
How do you feel about the unis?
I like them.
Yeah.
I think they're good enough. And they come across a bunch of people waiting for them who look like creatures from the TV show Grimm. Like they're all.
Or I was going to say, it looks like season 2 of Sweet Tooth.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Maybe this is a shared universe with Sweet Tooth. You got like a panda bear in there. You got like a little pig. You got a dog. You got some weirdos just all kind of hanging about. And then some of the comedy ensues. The basketball, Drax drills a kid with a basketball. Then they're all throwing at each other and whatever. So I mean, that's kind of what it is. Cut to Peter. Okay, so now we get. Let's pause it here because now you get Peter and Mantis talking with each other, and you're gonna get, I think, some like Rocket origin stories here, don't you think?
You have to, and so if this is what James Gunn says it is, where it's like the end of this crew, you never really got the sense of where Rocket came from and why he doesn't like being called a raccoon.
No, and just there were some scenes like from the first one where he had like the stuff like the bolts kind of on him or whatever,
jacked up a little bit.
Yeah, and so you knew he had been through some shit. You knew it was like an experiment gone wrong or whatever. So I like more of that. So The sad face that he gives you too, though, just does that not kill you?
And two, like I don't think this is going to be as happy a jaunt as the others have been. There will be some comedy, there'll be some slapstick.
Uh-huh.
So I'm jumping ahead a little, but I think this is going to be a little bit more of somber tone, a goodbye to
I
this
think
crew,
I
as
think
it
so
were.
too. Which I feel like in movies like this, it almost allows the comedy to kind of shine through because like you're like gonna be sad for a bit
Right.
and then it's gonna jump you back into humor. So I think there's a chance for it won't be as funny as the first one, but like you might get some real good laughs out of it because you're in a range of emotion is kind of how I feel like it's gonna go.
And so I jump ahead to this. They're jumping out of the ship into like this weird nebula type thing.
Mhm.
And is this like a nod to Among Us?
It's funny. It kind of looks like Among Us. It also kind of looks like
Doesn't it?
the what's the fucking the Wiggles, the show from the Australian
Yeah.
kids show, The Wiggles, where each
Yeah.
one of them is like a different color. That's
But it
kind of
was
what it's
definitely
reminding
giving
me
me
of.
some Among Us vibes.
I could see that. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It could be a little bit of Among Us. Let's see. Let's keep going.
Your girl's back.
Yes. So, how are they going to do this with Gamora, you think?
So I think this is a completely different Gamora who doesn't know them, right?
Yeah, I think that's what the deal's going to be.
So she's holding a picture, a Polaroid, which means that Quill probably took it because I don't think aliens have Polaroids, right? So
Right.
it's got to be, something that she got from one of them that's like a
Mhm,
picture of all of them. And
mhm,
I'm getting this, she's alone at this point, right? So
mhm.
she's looking for a team up here. And why not give this a shot, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And so do you think this is gonna be like drawn out? Like I feel like this is gonna be just one of many plots. Is like getting Gamora back and like getting her memories. Cause like
Yeah.
even if she doesn't know the Guardians, like she's gonna have to know Nebula, right? Like she'll
That
always know
some
Nebula.
form of nebula.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, it can be kind of confusing, but I trust James Gunn to be able to kind of figure this thing out.
Right.
You know, like I think
Mhm.
I think he'll be pretty good at it. So then you get a scene where they're all kind of walking out, and again, like you said, maybe a little bit more somber. You get Star Lord being held by Nebula. You
Yep.
get Rocket drinking like a milk or something. Drax, Mantis. You get Groot's in this shot. So's Cosmo. We'll talk about
We'll
Cosmo
talk about Cosmo.
on the
Yep.
topic du jour. And then what is
Kraglin.
Kraglin. Kraglin in
Mhm.
there as well. Who's got the fucking sick.
He's got the Yondu mohawk.
Yeah. So they're walking out. So this looks like something bad has happened to Peter. But then it cuts to Peter talking, jumps to Rocket saying, I'm done running, kind of shit. Next summer, cue some music.
And by the way, can we not skip over the fact that Space Hogs in the Meantime is probably the best bass line of the 90s? That song
Ooh,
fucking rules.
like that one, huh? All right.
I love that one. And by the way, I think the lead singer of Space Hog, who a one-hit wonder, if you were. We were talking about one-hit wonders in the pre-show.
Yeah, we were.
I think he's still married to Liv Tyler.
That's not bad.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
all right for himself. Space Hog. Remember them?
Bass hog.
I fucking
No,
love this song.
all right.
Yeah.
Then you cut to we get the first peek at High Evolutionary.
Mhm.
Again, if it wasn't a James Gunn movie, I might have a little bit tougher time with this one. I think he's gonna be able to pull this one off.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna be like I feel like right now expectations are low for High Evolutionary, the villain.
I don't think he's the real villain. I think that's
Okay.
what do they call it? A MacGuffin?
Oh,
A red
maybe.
herring?
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
it's not him.
Now I believe in the comics he created Rocket, or at least that's one road they could go down. So you might get some flashback scenes with him and Rocket. There might be some kind of confrontation between he and Rocket. So it
Mhm.
seems like right now on the baseline, the two different storylines is like getting Gamora back and like keep getting her up to speed and seeing if she'll fit in with the crew again, right? And then there's
Right.
going to be Rocket dealing with this dude and like whatever this dude's menacing shit is. That's sort of the two obvious ones, and then there's probably another one. I would assume.
Well, it looks like in the next scene after the High Evolutionary, when you have Gamora Mantis walking Drax out, looks like he's been shot in the chest with something.
Oh yeah,
They
Drax.
look like they're back in prison.
Right. Which, if it's not the best scene from Guardians 1, or even like most of the MCU. Like I don't know what is like that. Jail scene's incredible.
It is definitely my favorite Rocket moment.
Mhm.
And one of them we'll discuss again. Rocket is a character that is very close to my heart for many reasons. But when he's talking about the dude's leg, I need that dude's leg.
Yeah. He's like,
And
what?
he's like, I got you that leg. And he's like, what'd you need it for? I was like, nothing. I just thought it was funny.
He's like, you got that? Yeah, that was so cool. It's like the first time you get them working together. So they're clear. But look at the creatures in this scene. So if you pause it where Gamora and Nebula are holding up Drax and Star-Lord and I'm sorry, Mantis and Gamora are holding up Drax and Nebula and Star-Lord are behind them. There's like these weird, like almost like clay face looking creatures. The one thing looks like brain coral. Like it's nuts.
So they're in some weird prison.
They're definitely in some sort of
Nebula's back there too.
Yep.
So yeah.
I like Nebula.
I'm like, dude, I'm going like frame by frame right now.
What's the way to do it?
Yeah.
You're gonna get some sweets. Then they almost look like Power Rangers too when they're in those different suits because each one's got like their own color.
Yeah. Ugh, and then you
get some good stuff
you
here.
Get some Rocket on his back.
Yep.
He looks a little dinged up. Says we'll all fly away together.
What do you think of? Maybe I jumped past you, but Rocket hugging an otter.
So this was my wife watched the trailer, and I don't know if you know this about my wife. My wife is crazy about otters. She loves otters.
Great otter.
So much so,
otters are probably the cutest animal in the world.
Oh, and she loves them. Do you ever go see them they're swimming around and they're interacting with the people like they're hams. They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
So we went to the zoo in San Francisco, the aquarium in San Francisco, and there was like a little otter thing that you could walk around, and we stayed there for like a half hour. She was like almost in tears. She loves otters so much. So it was actually
that's an amazing scene.
Yeah. And that's his, hopefully that otter talks and has a name. And that's, Rocket's his cellmate from animal prison or wherever they were.
Yeah.
But a great hug there. Big hug.
Big old hug. Big squeeze there. About the same height.
And then you get one of those things that's like in Guardians 2 in the beginning that they fought. It's like another one of those.
Oh yeah. So we're seeing some big creatures, and again, Guardians is very clearly like the Star Wars of the Marvel universe, and creatures are a big part of it. And yeah, it's a thing with like a million teeth, a million legs, a big circle face. It's enormous. Oh, this is pretty sick. Job in the chat, he has the first appearance of Rocket, which was in an Incredible Hulk number 271. That's a good pull.
That's a good pull. You should have bought that.
Yeah, yes, you should. All right. So then right after that crazy creature, Adam Warlock.
There he is.
I was curious, just as a fan of comics, how they were going to pull off Infinity War without Adam Warlock, and they did just fine. They did a great job, but he's a huge part of it. We know he's going to be in this because unfortunately there's no like surprises anymore, and so that it was already proven. Will Poulter is going to play Adam Warlock, which I think is an odd casting.
Which was and to me, and again, like this kid can act. Like he was the goofy. No, he was he the goofy kid in We Are the Millers?
Yes.
That's him, right?
Yes, it is.
And it's just like you see that kid, and then he was in like Bandersnatch, which he was really good in that. And then he was in
he was in Midsommar.
Yes, he was. And have you seen him? He's very good friends with Florence Pugh.
Okay.
So maybe that helps.
Maybe
but
he was in the Maze Runner, he was in The Revenant, he was in Detroit, he was in The Little Stranger. I don't know that one.
Have you seen him recently?
No.
He went full Kumail Nanjiani. This kid is absolutely yoked right now.
See, but my impression of, and I was gonna say I might even have like the Infinity War comics behind me somewhere, but I always thought of Adam Warlock as older than this. This kid's in his 20s, late 20s, but still, I thought he was a little bit bigger. I'm trying to think of like what actor. Like I would think Adam Warlock would actually be more Brad Pitt than it would be like Will Poulter.
And I think there was like talks of that when they were talking about casting Adam Warlock, like who it could be. And someone said it like you could have done like if in a perfect world, it probably should be Chris Hemsworth.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be good too. That really would be. Now, so this feels like also a movie where we've seen this a bunch now, and even Black Panther might be an example where Namor starts out as a villain but eventually is probably going to be a good guy, if not sort of on that line. I bet Adam Warlock in this movie, this will be like another layer. So this is the third thing we know. So it's a hunt for Gamora, what's going on with High Evolutionary and his relationship with Rocket. And then Adam Warlock is probably going to battle the Guardians until ultimately they're on the same side.
So here's my thought. Mine's a little bit different. Let me kick flip off of this.
Okay, go ahead.
So Adam Warlock, as we've read, you've read Infinity Gauntlet like I have too.
Yeah.
So Adam Warlock is described. I've heard him described as like him and Thanos are different sides of the same coin. Where Thanos literally Thanatos means like death. Adam Warlock is supposed to be like life because he's like what's in his head. It's like the Soul Stone is like in his head.
Yeah. Well, it was. So
It
I don't
was.
know. Yeah.
So my thought is that he's coming after Gamora.
Okay.
And then they have to like do the thing where they like stop him and then explain the situation, and then he turns to their side.
Yeah, no, so I mean that could be this. That's a good one. So like they sort of converge on Gamora, and then so you would agree at some point it'll be Adam Warlock versus the Guardians.
There's going to be some sort of thing where like where he's coming for them, because remember the people who their whole thing with Adam Warlock too is he was invented by like those. He was made by those weirdo gold people in Guardians 2, right?
Yeah, right.
Who have a little bit of a grudge, and then he revolts against the people who made him.
Yeah,
Adam, when he realizes that they're using him for bad things, he splits.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, so that's definitely in play. I also wonder if James Gunn might be done with the Guardians, and a number of these actors, like we know Dave Bautista said he's done as Drax. But these characters could easily live on, and you could have another version of the Guardians. Adam Warlock could be leading that, or whatever.
I mean, if you're going towards Secret Wars, like you kind of have to have Adam Warlock in it.
And there's no way this is Adam Warlock's only movie.
No,
they debut him now. So we'll see more of him. So you see him punching Nebula. You cut to Mantis crying. You now get a shot of, there's a classic James Gunn. You're going to get a lot of shots of all of the characters lined up walking.
Team shots. The old Reservoir Dog shot.
I was like, Tarantino crushed
in slow motion. Yeah,
but it's super great. And whether it's the Suicide Squad or the Guardians, like James Gunn, Peacemaker, he's gonna have you covered. So this one cuts to this is the crew. Like this is the one that we know from left to right. You got Star-Lord, Drax, Rocket, Gamora, Groot, Nebula, Mantis. Now, one thing we do know about Marvel trailers is sometimes they can add and subtract. For what's actually in the movie. So that's one thing where it's like, I don't know if this is 100% what we're going to see.
And it's a weird shot because Gamora is behind them.
Yeah.
And who are they walking towards? My guess is it's Adam Warlock.
Could be. Yep.
And they're standing in front of her. Like, you got to go through us kind of deal.
Fucking touch her.
Yeah.
Now, how many, if any, of these characters do you think die in the movie?
I don't know which ones, but I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm say half.
Yeah, they kind of have to wipe a few of them out, don't they? Otherwise, it's like, do you just want them out in the world? And on the one hand, like I know we've lost some characters. Like you figure Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther, but they keep adding characters. Like Phase 4 added 1 million characters. Like there's so many goddamn characters, and so I think you're probably right. I think Gamora lives because I think like the whole idea of like bringing her back, like I feel like you wouldn't just do all that and then have her die. Like you could have just left her dead in the first one. So I think she's gonna live. I wonder if Nebula lives. I could see Star-Lord, or I fucking hope it's not Rocket. You and I love Rocket, but I feel like if it's gonna be such an emotionally torn Rocket movie, either he's gonna go because Groot technically already died once, so I don't think it'll be Groot again. I think Groot will live on. Plus, it's a cool character. You want to use him in other stuff. But yeah,
and the next scene tells me that. So you have the team walking, Rocket's dead center, and then the next shot is Rocket in like this white, very well lit space. So like that's never good.
Oh boy, yeah.
And then the shot after that's not good. And then the shot after that is the back-to-back John Woo shot of Quill and Groot, but no Rocket.
Yeah, and they're like emotional to the point where it's like Rocket might have just gone. And Also, I never thought I needed to see Groot shooting multiple guns, but yes, I like that very
I
much.
love that very much. And where did he learn that from?
Uh-huh.
His buddy Rocket.
His buddy Rocket. And then that's basically it, right? So then it cuts to sweet little logo, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
And then this
Drax,
funny little scene. Yeah.
yeah, and then a funny joke about Drax gonna go kill a few people. Star-Lord telling him you're not.
Now you're just making it sad. One guy who nobody cares about. See, they total pieces of shit. Like they don't matter.
Like, no, they said it doesn't. Well, the babysitter fucked us. So this also jumped out to me too. And again, you can go read the cast list and everything else anyway. But so the first card, it's like Guardians 3, Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Batista, Karen Gillan. And if you go to the next, the second page, hold on a second. Go to the second page. What the fuck? It won't let me pause it. My whole point is to say this. All right, so then it has a bunch of others, like, and then also on there is Sylvester Stallone, and so we know Stallone was in volume 2. He popped up in, it was either mid or end credits as Stakar Ogard or whatever. Like,
yeah, but then he was in 3. I mean 2. He was in it.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So he was in that, and so he's coming back, and that's another guy where you're like, all right, could he potentially factor into more of these MCU movies and be, because you remember what they also did? They did like a real tip of the cap and they named like original Guardians. So again, fans of the comic book, the Guardians we see in the movies isn't the original version. It's like Charlie 27 and all these other fucking assholes. And so I wonder if they're going to get some of them more involved. But holy smokes, good trailer though. I mean, for 2 minutes, good music, good shots, good use of the characters, couple of jokes, couple of sad moments. That's well done. You really can't do it a whole lot better than that.
Can't do
anything else?
It's a hell of a trailer. Hell of a trailer, my man.
Yeah, it was. I agree. Now we got a million other trailers, but we also got a date. They'd been saying The Mandalorian season 3 was going to come out in February. They were close. March 1st, we're going to get the first episode of The Mandalorian season 3.
Cannot come soon enough.
No, I have never my problem.
Never, yeah.
That's we got another trailer, final trailer for The Last of Us, Ryan. This comes out just over a month from now, January 15th on HBO. We had the character posters. We put those out on Instagram. Just follow us at Dork Podcast on Instagram. Man, you and I love this game, and the casting choices seem to be really good. It's HBO, so you can trust it. Because you're like, I don't want to fuck this up. It's like if it was on Netflix, it'd be kind of 50-50. Same with Prime. Like you'd be like, I don't really know. I feel good about it.
I feel good about it too. And the people who did Chernobyl, which was fucking unreal, and Neil Druckmann, who the director of the game, is directly involved. So like, it's gonna. I just, as excited as I am for this, I know what's happening, and it's. I don't think I can be emotionally ready for this. And one of the things that I wasn't, it was one of those things that, like, you're aware of, but then when it happens, you're like, oh shit. Anna Torv, who was in Mindhunter, and she was in what was that show? It was on Fox. It was kind of like an X-Files kind of thing, but she was like a shit. What was the name of that show?
She was in Mindhunter. I know what you're talking about.
I know, but there was a show that she was in. Fringe.
Got it.
I don't know if you ever watched Fringe on Fox, but that was really, really good. She's great. And as Tess, the character Tess, like, she's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You remember that character? That was like Joel's partner.
Yeah.
He's like kind of a bad, like, yeah, she's going to be fucking great in that role.
It's funny because I haven't played the first game in so long, because we actually did a standalone episode. You can check the archives on the second game, which I love the second game. In fact, hopefully this show's good. How much of the game do you think they can do in one season?
I think ideally, I mean, what I would love to see them do is get to the winter.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So remember that when Joel gets hurt,
like
Joel gets shot or Joel gets hurt, and Ellie has to kind of, and remember there's that awesome scene, and it's become like a meme now. Some famous streamer was like playing the game blind for like the first time, and there was like the scene with like the cute bunny like going through the snow, and then all of a sudden you see the arrow like go through its neck, and it's like, and she like screams and like starts crying, like so I get to that, like so if you just get to the winter,
It's
Right, because there's that whole run-in. Yeah.
It's 9 episodes. So you can probably get there. It's probably, I'm guessing they're all an hour long, so it's 9 hours.
Yeah. You can get out of Boston. You can get through. I think that town's with Nick Offerman. So the guy who I forget the name of that character, but the guy who they meet in town, and he gets on the truck.
Bill.
And then they wind up in like Philly.
Yeah.
And then that's where Joel gets like hurt, and they have to spend the winter somewhere. So I think if you get there, then you get to the Fireflies and then all that shit.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be interesting. And so like Bella Ramsey, who played Lady Mormont, Lyanna Mormont in Game of Thrones, she's playing Ellie. And I just think we spent so much time playing the game, and Ellie obviously looks exactly like Ellen Page. So there's like that kind of like, you're gonna have to transfer that onto this character. So I think people who have never played the game, they're in store for just an incredible story, and I think you're gonna love it. But
and I wasn't sold completely until I saw this trailer. And she's talking about like, oh, I'm going to turn into a monster. And someone's like, if she starts like twitching, the first time you start twitching, like you're dead. And she's like, if I, and she's like, don't
do that. Yeah.
Like, stop. Yeah. Like I was like, okay, she kind of you have to get those characters a little bit. And that's how Ellie is in the beginning. She doesn't really understand, like what's going on, and then eventually learns, so that's that sold it for me. And they nailed the clicker noises. They just nailed it.
Scary. Playing that game in the dark. It's a good time.
With headphones, you can like hear them behind you, like the 3D audio. Yeah, it's fucked.
Game's incredible. So looking forward to this big time. That'll obviously be a standalone episode, I'm guessing in March. So if it's a January 15th show, 9 episodes. So yeah, about March.
Sometime in March. Yep.
We'll do a standalone on that. How about this movie, Ryan? We sort of talked about this a couple times when they announced it. Coming out on February 24th, and the first trailer came out for Cocaine Bear.
And this, I remember when this story happened, I read this. I'm like, there's no way that's real. And it actually did happen. The bear didn't like kill anybody, but like it actually did get into a bag of cocaine. Yeah. It's like went on a little baby rampage, but
that's my favorite meme is the bear that's like in the snow and he's like going nuts. And he's like, I fucking love cocaine.
But this actually looks pretty funny.
It looks really funny. Yeah. I'm in on this. And this has got to be pick of the pod, Ray Liotta's final movie, I would think.
Yeah. Like I think he's in a couple like TV shows or something, but like this is like his last movie. So
and just him talking about cocaine will be worth it alone.
Ray Liotta. Yikes.
Now a movie that I was very unsure about, but I am now, I believe, all the way full balls deep into the Super Mario Brothers movie. Trailer is out. This film comes out April 7th. You're gonna get Mario Kart in here, amongst a lot of other things. I'm still not
Smash.
Yeah, Smash. This is gonna be everything you want. This is gonna be the Mario Brothers movie that I think we all needed. And I still don't love Chris Pratt as Mario, but I'll suck it up and watch
But you know the guy, I forget the guy's name who actually voices Mario. He's gonna make an appearance somewhere. Like they have to, right? Otherwise, he would have been motherfucking this whole thing the whole time if it wasn't him. And I think that they probably helped him out a little bit and threw him a bone.
It looks fun.
Who needs to shut the fuck up about this movie though? As much as I love him, is John Leguizamo. Like you need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, calm down.
He's talking about how he's changed in the movie he made. Like he's come around on it, and there was so much love, and some of these people dressing up as him at Comic Cons. Like, dude, shut up. Like.
I'd say, hey,
it's a cartoon.
Hey, John Leguizamo.
You're going to have problems, just like everything else. But stay positive and stay strong.
I thought you were going to throw him a fuck you, dickhead.
Get the fuck out of here.
Take a hike, dude. We don't have time for it. So, we're excited for that movie. How about this one? I was not prepared for this. Transformers Rise of the Beasts comes out June 9th. Did you know, Ryan? This is the 7th Transformers movie.
That's wild.
Yeah, I get no interest in it. I feel like, a lot of people that would listen to our fantastic podcast probably are into this. It's not for me. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. But there you go, Rise of the Beasts.
Not paying to see that.
No. Not a goddamn cent. Although when it comes out for free, I'll probably fire up the surround sound down here and watch it.
I mean, it does look cool, but there's no substance there. It's just like
no, that's true. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny comes out June 30th. We tweeted out the trailer for that. It's got to be one of the worst movie titles ever.
Crystal Skull was worse.
Crystal Skull was a worse film, guaranteed. I don't know if it's worse than And the Dial of Destiny. I thought that was a joke when I first read it.
I thought it was too. I'm not. It looks okay.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I'll watch it. I don't know if I'll go to the theater for it, June 30th. I'll have to check my schedule, but that comes out then. We got confirmed. DC Blue Beetle comes out August 18th. They're going to do a Blue Beetle movie.
So?
I don't know. You're super excited for that?
No. Are you?
It's snakes out there this big.
Beetles. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Blue Beetle. I love Blue Beetle.
Do you though? Like, is it just Ant-Man?
Yeah, Cord Industries. Okay. You don't want to get into Cord Industries? Stock
I'm fine
prices?
with it. I'm fine with it. Nope.
Buy you what you want to do is when the stock price is low, that's when you buy, and then when it goes up, then you sell it. And then when you sell it,
that's when you sell it.
40 fucking million Deutschmarks, Bob.
I say Helsinki, you hear Geneva. Name that movie, Chad.
Come on, Chad, get in there.
40,000 fucking Deutschmarks.
No, but
stole my cordless phone out of my house.
And then the phone starts ringing.
Yeah.
No,
stocks are low. That's when you buy, and then when they're really,
and then when they're high, she's like, "Okay, yeah, great, Cord." Blue Beetle, the kid from Cobra Kai is going to be Blue Beetle. And what more can you say about it other than that?
That's basically it. That's all you got, right?
I got not a whole lot else.
Remember when The Rock completely oversold Black Adam?
Yeah, I do.
It's gonna change the power dynamic of the DC universe. He didn't do anything. You just
I'm more excited about Blue Beetle, to be honest.
Fuck, man. Jesus Christ.
And she probably got 5 new boyfriends. We haven't caught anybody coming out of the house yet, but just a matter of time. She's not lonely. I apologize.
Yeah, great. Right, and probably the best news of 2022 that we have received up until this point. We still have about 3 weeks left to get more good news, but production for I Think You Should Leave season 3 is underway.
Any of these little fuckers ever pop out of the fucking wall and say, "Fuck, there's a horse cock in my room," or a donkey dick?
And the first shot we saw was the shot of a monitor with Tim Robinson sitting at a desk in an office. And I don't think there's a better setting for Tim Robinson where he doesn't belong than in an office.
So good.
Can you imagine working with that guy like a normal job?
Oh, incredible.
I would die the whole time.
I think I feel good about what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Tim Robinson is the funniest person in the world today.
To me, yes. If they pitched what's that computer school where it's like him and his nephew that go to like computer.
Yeah.
Like that's a terrible pitch, but well, he's in it. It's like, oh, okay. You know who he is, and this is a bit of a hot take.
Who's that?
You remember when Will Ferrell was big, and you could basically pitch Will Ferrell in anything.
Yeah.
And people be like, okay. Like all you had to do was walk into a movie studio and be like, Will Ferrell, NASCAR driver.
That's what they did. They literally did that. Yeah.
Will Ferrell, figure skating. Done.
They did it. Yep, they did that too.
And
Will Ferrell was, for me personally, I loved Vince Vaughn, but for a while, I still love him, but for a while, he was my favorite. I think with Tim Robinson, though, is because you also know either he's co-writing or writing so many of these too. So it's like his characters, he's putting them out there and then he's executing it. And it's his style of comedy. And even going back and watching the Detroiters, which I never watched live, but I watched it after the show. The couple of sketches that he's in, he does the fucking round ball rock sketch, which is incredible on SNL with John Tesh and Sudeikis.
Yeah.
He's just so fun. Every time he's on, you're just waiting to laugh because it's like, this guy's fucking hysterical. So,
and it's funny, I don't, like you said, he'd have to write, because I don't think outside of there's only one person that I would trust to write for him, and that's probably Andy Samberg or the Lonely Island guys.
Yeah, or the dude. So the dude that you have to marry your mother-in-law. Not the guy that says that, but the
So
guy
that's
who's
Zach.
working.
What's his writing
Keenan, I
partner?
think. Yeah, that's one of the writing partners.
Yeah.
And the other guy that's a big part of it too is the guy that was in the Blues Brothers sketch where
Right.
he's like, take the fucking glasses off, like that guy who's sitting there.
And that guy's married to 80 Bryant, right?
Yes. So that
Yeah.
guy, so he's also a part of it because he was in the Pointer Brothers sketch when they were on that. What the fucking Pointer Brothers, man, is hysterical. Pointer Brothers.
Yeah.
What
That's
was
like
that show called? Comedians or no?
the
It was called
Comedians.
The Comedians. And so there's one episode is Tim
It
Robinson.
was just
episode.
him. Yeah. And they did like, it was a sketch comedy show, but like every comedian, there was like the girl from The Wrong Missy was in, and they all have their own episode. So they do like 5-6 sketches, and the Pointer Brothers. I remember watching that and being like,
it's
thinking the same thing. Like, they're not going to point at all of us, are they?
This can't be all they do, can it?
This can't be it. Do you want to stand up when we point to you, and like, or sit down when we point? Like,
everybody stand up. Then when we point to you, whatever, and then there's like, this can't be it.
This can't be it.
That's kind of it.
Oh, so fucking good.
But I love it. Anyway,
I think he can't. If as long as he's writing for himself, like he's the funniest dude out there right now.
When do you think this will be out? If they're doing production for it now, you figure it's probably going to be another 6 episodes, 16 minutes each. You think summertime?
When did the last season? It was in the summer, right?
I don't remember.
And these got to be. I mean, it can't be that long to do these
I was
things.
Gonna
right?
say, like, I'm sure all these things take time, but I'm sure
there's no green screen. There's no Mandalorian special effects. It's just
no.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
like I would love
get those coffins to fucking put the holes in the coffins. He said that was like a nightmare to shoot.
No, he didn't rig shit. He didn't do shit.
Yeah, I didn't fucking do this.
What are you talking about? Drilling holes in coffins. He didn't do shit.
I don't know. I guess I just wanted everybody to think he took huge dumps.
I just need some time. Spend some time with my family, try new restaurants.
This guy wants me to meet him. He lives like 100 miles away.
Way too far.
All right. That'll I can't wait for that. So it feels like it was way too long that we had season 2. But all right. Right, let's finally get to this.
It's time for Davey's video game minute. Even if it takes more than a minute.
All right.
All right, so what do we got? So we got 47 brand. I don't have a 47 brand hat on, but I am wearing a 47 brand Seattle Kraken shirt. So go to 47 brand, especially around the holiday, around the holidays.
Oh my
47,
God.
you get 25% off.
25. It's not 27 yet.
I don't know why I said 47, 27. I don't know why I did that, but like, fucking, come on.
Yeah.
Well, if you spend like $357 at 47 brand, you know how much money you save by using our promo code #DORK?
25%.
It's 25% of that, which is wild, and free shipping. If
you
over 50 bucks,
it's hit the 100 threshold or 50 threshold.
I think it's 75. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just buy the shit. You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'll keep this short because we're at 45 minutes into this thing right now, and we have not moved on. But it should be 47% off. That's true.
Yeah, we should talk to them. We can get for like maybe like a weekend to only get 47% off of 47 brand.
Yeah. So God of War, as I know, I finished. Have you played anymore?
Dude, I'm at 5 hours in. I haven't played in a while. I've been swamped here, but yeah.
I played it again just to watch the conversation at the very beginning of the game where Thor sits down at the table with Odin and just puts the table. He's like, "Are you a reasonable man?"
Yeah.
Like that whole scene is just so fucking well written.
So cool.
So good.
Yeah. So I got to that part already. And like I fought Thor, like I assumed the first time, but it was it was a good time.
I finished that and it was wonderful. So I've had to move on. So I've based on IGN reviews, I went with Midnight Suns came out. I did not pick up Midnight Suns yet, but I'm told that that's really, really good. It's a turn-based like action game. So I'm really excited to play Marvel's Midnight Suns. I haven't done it yet though. What I am playing right now is the new Need for Speed.
Oh, how's that?
And I tell you, it's weird. It's like a new anime style. So it's like that hyper realistic, but there's like anime aspects to it. And it's really, really cool. The driving's really slick and it looks amazing. It's called Need for Speed Unbound. A$AP Rocky's in it. And there's like, the music is kick ass and the cars are obviously fucking awesome. So the car I'm rolling with right now is my first car. Is It's the Trans Am, Smokey and the Bandit.
There you
car.
go.
Got the
Nice.
New Hampshire plates on it and everything. Because now you can like put like your state plates on it. So
I like that.
And if you remember in Smokey and the Bandit, the license plate says Band 1.
Mm-hmm.
So now mine's Band 2. And it's from the
Okay.
great state of New Hampshire. See what I did? So
I do I see exactly what you did.
and so since I know you appreciate this, and this is the last video game minute thing I'll do. So I'm playing that. And by the way, season 2 of Overwatch is coming out soon. Season 2 of the Overwatch 2 is coming out soon with the new character and all that stuff.
Oh, what about Star Wars Jedi Survivor?
Yes. So we saw basically just a poster for this, right? And it's Cal Kestis, and he's looking a little older, a little more grizzled. And BB-8 is still with him. BB-8 is one of the better droids I've seen. Sits on your shoulder, which is actually and you haven't played that yet, have you?
No, I haven't,
bro.
I know I need to.
Now that you got the 5, because the thing that was shitty about it is the load times were crazy.
Okay,
in that game.
I'll get this.
You get to you could go to Dathomir.
Oh, that's all I want.
You get to go to Dathomir. It's like
I want to go to Dathomir.
You got to play this game.
I'll get the fucking game. I'll get it.
But
By the way, this one, this is maybe Kismet comes out on my birthday. This next game.
Oh,
yeah, March 15th.
You got to play this one because it's on. They did a free upgrade for it for PlayStation 5, and the game is sick on PlayStation 5.
Fuck.
So you got to do it. And
Just in my past.
Yes. Is it BD1? What is it? BB?
It's
BB8.
It's not BB8.
It's BB8. It's BD1. And
BD1.
He sits on your shoulder, and you snap, and he gives you health packs.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually super cool.
Like it.
So yeah, and the last thing I'll tell you. So what I know you love a good signature drink,
of course.
And do you remember? It's for anyone in what Mr. Davey's signature drink is.
It is Jack and Gingy. Please be stingy on the gingy.
Stingy on the gingy. But when I want to be fancy, I order an old fashioned, right? So if you're playing Cyberpunk, if you played Cyberpunk, Keanu Reeves' character is named Johnny Silverhand. And the game's actually really cool. So they go to this bar called the Underworld, and the whole thing is if you die a glorious death and you're this, bounty hunter or whatever, and you die this glorious death, you get a drink named after you. So Johnny Silverhand is actually a tequila old fashioned.
Oh, how's that?
And it is awesome.
What is that? What are you getting there?
I'm not going to tell you because what I'm going to do, I got a new phone. I got a new with the special camera on it. So I'm going to do what you do. I'm going to do a drink recipe on how to make a Johnny Silverhand, a tequila old fashioned.
I love a drink video.
Oh yeah, I love a good drink video on how to do it, and it is something else.
You know what I also like?
What do you like?
I like to take old biddies and bunch and mocks.
Well, that's what this is in drink form, by the way. So that's the Davies video game minute. We are almost 50 minutes into this, so let's talk turkey here.
Y'all ready for bisque?
Well, it's the topic of the day, Ryan. I'm glad you asked. Topic du jour time, and it is fittingly, it's a special. It's more of a short film, so it's going to be a short amount of time we dedicate to the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, currently on Disney Plus, 44 minutes. It also marks the end of Phase 4 of the MCU. Everything after this is going to be Phase 5. Currently on Roddy T's 92% by the critics, 82% by the audience. We will begin spoiler-free, as we do with all of our movie and TV reviews. Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Ryan, did you like it?
It was okay. I liked it. It was a nice little time, but not my favorite thing in the world, which is the best review you could give. It was okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's fine. I thought it was good.
How did you feel about it?
Yeah, it's fine. I liked it. I liked it in the sense that I like these characters so much. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I love Gamora, and you're not getting Gamora in this.
Not in it. Yep.
Rocket, to me, probably not in it enough. That's my next guy. I know that's your guy.
Yep.
So, I still like the world. It's similar to, anything Star Wars, anything Marvel. I like being involved in the world and, hanging out with some of the characters. It was fine. It was fine.
I like the Guardian stuff. There was a large part of it just felt a little too silly to me. It was wacky. I didn't like the zaniness of it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, and I think Gamora, not having Gamora takes a look, because they've made Drax so much a comedic character,
Yes.
And so's kind of Mantis, to be honest. And then they want Star-Lord to be that. They want Rocket to be that. So when you don't have Gamora kind of calling their shit out, don't you think that's a little different?
You know, you just kind of blew my mind because in the sense what they've done is turn Drax into like intergalactic peacemaker.
Yeah.
Where he like doesn't really get it, like whatever's going on. And you're right. Like Gamora is like the straight person.
She's the one that's like, what the fuck you guys
She's like,
doing?
what-
like she's
like,
the
what
one
are
that
you
like
talking
calls shit
about?
out. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And then
she's like the ground wire of like, no, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like the one who called, like you said, calls this shit. Yeah.
I think even because they ended up, especially in like 2, really like leaning into it, and like Drax is funny. Like Dave Bautista's good at it, but I think even Bautista's talked about the actor being like, yeah, like obviously he's thrilled that he was involved in this and he loves James Gunn, but he's like, they took a character that's like pretty violent with a fucked up backstory, and they've just made him like a comedy act, and he's just like, super literal, and he's like kind of goofy. So it's like, if you're into that, you get a lot of that in this. But I don't know, maybe it's run its course a little bit. Ryan, is this the best Christmas movie of all time?
No,
it's not. It's not.
If you say it is, like you're a liar or an idiot. Like there's no way, there's no in between there.
It's not. However, do you enjoy the Marvel specials format? So far, we've just gotten this and Werewolf by Night, 2 movies that they're in the universe. They're technically canon. Now, the Werewolf by Night will be interesting to see how they eventually maybe go back to that or not. But they're both under an hour, so it's not like the TV show thing that you're getting. It's also not a full-length movie, clearly, but it's like I don't know. I really enjoy it, especially it gives you more reason to. You're gonna always have Disney Plus, but like it gives you more reason to have it. It's like more bang for your buck. You feel like you're getting something kind of special for it. So I'm curious of how much more of this they're gonna do, but I think like the idea is pretty great.
And these work. And so like for me, I mean, the saving grace of this thing was that it was 45 minutes long. That it was kind of like, straight ahead. And for me, if this was an hour and a half, 2-hour movie, I would have hated it.
No, it would have no business being that long. You would have had.
That's what I mean.
You would have had to have another entire storyline and like character if you were to do that. Now, as you were watching this, do you think a Guardians TV show could work? And so we were talking about Guardians 3 earlier, and we're saying how a number of characters could get squashed. Rather than doing like a Guardians 4, which I think would be weird, especially if James Gunn's not going to be attached. Do you think maybe you could do like an 8-episode run with these characters? Because I think it might work only because the whole premise of Guardians should be like different missions every day. It shouldn't be like one thing. They should have like 8 different missions, I think.
You're absolutely right. And I think with the minor characters, this will work, which means like you probably don't get Quill, but you might get, what was it, Johnny 27, whatever the
Charlie 27.
Charlie 27.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? Who was in Con Air? What was the guy who was like the serial Johnny something? He had a number too.
Oh, I don't remember.
Whatever, but like you get the idea. So I was getting that mixed up. But like if you could do like the minor characters, like the other Guardians as well, I think that would work. Pratt's not going to do TV,
Yeah, the initial Guardians, which came out in like 1969, was Vance Astro, Martin X, Captain Charlie 27, and Yondu. And then later members were Stakar Ogard, who played obviously Sylvester Stallone, another Ogard, and then Nikki. So it's like none, like Yondu kind of, and then like none of these characters. These all came later.
And you've already introduced them, so like they could just kind of spin it off and have Miley Cyrus come in and voice a character and have some fun with it. And
then like the few holdovers, they could do it if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Cyrus the Virus. Oh yeah. Favorite Guardian? Yours definitely Rocket. Right? Yeah. Kevin Bacon. A lot of Kevin Bacon.
Well, way too much Kevin Bacon.
Good amount of Kevin. He's singing songs.
Like, I mean, I thought the songs were great. Other than I thought the Pogues. What's the name of that song? It's the Fairy Tale of New York. It's like the Pogues Christmas song, the one they play at the beginning and at the end.
Yeah,
it's like the Irish song. So that's one of my favorite Christmas songs.
Well, who's the band that's in it?
It is a real band. I don't know if it's the Bacon Brothers.
97s.
The old 97s, yeah.
Old
so
97s,
they're actually that, by the way, that's the band that Vince Vaughn, second time he's been goes to see with Jennifer Aniston buys him tickets in the breakup.
Oh, good pull. You're right. That is the old 97s.
Yep.
And he doesn't go.
He doesn't go.
Fuck, that killed me.
And that was the mistake. That was the final straw.
Fucking
You
killed
go to
me.
that concert.
It was a great idea. She got all dressed up. She looked like $1 million.
Oh, did she ever in that movie? My God.
Man. What was he doing?
Just living his life. It's the best thing for him.
How good was Vincent D'Onofrio in that movie?
When he freaks out at him about that's the best part when he's like losing. He's sitting down. He's like suit's too small. He's like pulling the suit, like screaming at him about the books. Like that's my favorite part of that. Like him.
So good.
Yeah, way too much Kevin Bacon. I thought there was like, okay, like I'm sure it was fun for him, and I'm sure it was fun to film. And great. And the whole thing about Palm Clementif and Dave Bautista shitting on actors the whole time, like
it is good.
Haha. But like,
and then also, by the way, Kira Sedgwick is in it because that's Kevin Bacon's wife in real life. And,
is that her? Is that her real voice?
Yeah, it is. She's in the credits. I'm like, what an easy paycheck that was for her.
Oh my God! So they probably paid her rate.
Yeah,
even if she did a bad job, like they had to pay that.
She was fine. She was on the phone. Her voice
for like
closer,
30 seconds.
Closer coming in there getting bank.
Yep.
By the way, Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick's daughter is in what the fuck movie was that I just saw? Smile. I think she was in Smile.
Oh, sweet. Kira Sedgwick, probably, she's famous for many things, but one of the things that I sticks with me to this day, and I write this on anyone who's invited me to a wedding. I've written this on like a card. You know when people do the thing that everyone signs?
Yeah.
I say this, I write this down. Kira Sedgwick said it. They asked her what the key to a successful marriage is. And her response was, keep the fights clean and the sex dirty.
Ooh. I like that.
That's a great line.
That is a really good line. That's smart.
That's a great line. And I was like, for the write something for the bride and groom. That's what I always write.
Kevin Bacon had some line too a while ago about how like, before you're famous, like if you can get girls before you're famous, like you're doing something right. If you get them after, it's like it's nothing. Like you're not. There's no challenge in that or whatever. Like it's more poetic than that, but it's just like he's like he doesn't give any. Once you get a little bit of fame, it's like it doesn't matter. But prior to that, that's when you know if you have any kind of game at all.
That's a good line.
They're both good.
It's like the Tony Stark line: if you need the suit, if you nothing with the suit, then you shouldn't have it. Nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. Basically, if you can't get girls without fame, you shouldn't be famous.
I bring up Kira Sedgwick like a few times a year. Like if Jason Tatum is a big fourth quarter, I'll refer to him as Kira Sedgwick, the closer. It's just like it's like any good quarterback or basketball player can be Kira Sedgwick, and it's like an absolute compliment because she was for like unnecessarily like 10 years. It was like a TNT show, The Closer, which I don't know if anybody watched.
No one ever. I think my mother watched that show because she'll watch any detective cop show under the sun.
Also, here's a prediction for you. At some point, as a throwaway line for Ryan Reynolds in the next Deadpool movie, is he'll be having a conversation and he'll be like, Hugh Jackman was in X-Men with Patrick Stewart as Professor X, who was in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with Benedict Cumberbatch, who was Doctor Strange, who was in Infinity War with Chris Pratt, who was in the holiday special with Kevin Bacon.
Which you could go, Kevin Bacon was in First Class. It's way easier than that.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I
but
guess
you could write it where he goes on this whole thing like you just did, be like, or you could just say that Hugh Jackman was in X-Men First Class with Kevin Bacon. Done.
There you go. Actually, that's the joke. He does this whole long thing, and he's like, actually, he was in First Class. He like play whatever.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, we could have written that.
It's funny. I was just saying the day before I watched this special, I was telling my wife, so like we all have our favorite Christmas songs.
Yes.
Right. Everybody has a long list of songs. I love Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC. I think the most underrated Christmas song of all time is Christmas Rapping by the Waitresses. And it fucking popped up in this movie. And I'm like,
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. That one. Yeah.
I love that song. And
can I tell you one thing about me that you might not know? Aside from
Try Me.
One track, I fucking hate the Smashing Pumpkins. I do not like the Smashing Pumpkins.
I like what is it? Bullet and Butterfly Wings. What's that one?
Nope.
What's the one?
It's
The world is
that's
the world is a vampire.
That's
like
Bullet
that
with
one?
Butterfly Wings. I do not like that.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
So you're making fun of it, but that's exactly what that song sounds like to me.
That's what it sounds like. No, if I was
You're
gonna do karaoke, I would do that song. I like that song.
No,
I actually don't own any of their albums. They were
Right.
super popular in middle school. That double album, Melancholy, and Infinite
Melancholy and the
Yeah.
Infinite Sadness, which they spelled melancholy incorrectly.
I thought they had some good tracks.
Cherub Rock is the only song that I like. from
Ooh, that
Chris
was in
Matching
Rock
Pumpkins.
Band, wasn't it? Or
Mhm.
Guitar Hero. One of
Sure
them.
was.
Hmm.
Yep. I do like it so much. I do like my pumpkins unsmashed. I do not
Okay.
like.
Interesting.
And Billy Corgan is a fucking weirdo to me.
He was also a dickhead to the guys from Our Lady Peace.
Oh, such
So,
a dickhead.
Our Lady
he's, well,
Peace.
he's a dickhead to everybody. Is this thing?
That's what I've heard.
Like, yeah.
But he had a line, and so one of my roommates, my buddy Bales in college, loved Our Lady Peace. He had I thought they were actually pretty good.
They're actually Canadian Smashing Pumpkins, basically.
Well, yes, so far as much. Where Billy Corgan one time was quoted as saying, like, "I just want to thank Our Lady Peace for keeping our old stuff new." I was like, oof.
But have you? And one of the best. I listen to this podcast, Bandsplain, all the time, and she was like, the host was saying something to the effect of like, the last 4 Smashing Pumpkins albums, because Billy Corgan is basically saying like Smashing Pumpkins is whoever's standing next to me. Like that's, I think he's said that. It doesn't really matter. Like the band doesn't matter. And
Right.
And she said the last like 4 Smashing Pumpkins albums sound like we have Smashing Pumpkins at home. When your mom's like, "Can we get Smashing Pumpkins?" Like, no, we have Smashing Pumpkins at home. Like that's what it sounds like.
That's a good line too.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. Yeah, no, I've always like thought they were fine, and it was like if it was on the radio, great, but it never moved. Like I don't own any of their
but
CDs.
So the reason I bring it up is because the one song that stood out to me that sucked in this holiday special was the Christmas Time by Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay,
and it's just such a stupid. It's such a stupid song.
It is, but Christmas rapping though they jumped that.
Christmas rapping is great.
I love that, and you get the old '97s a bunch. You get a Kevin Bacon song, which I wonder if he was like, "Yeah, I'll do your movie if I can sing," because he's in a band.
Not a bad song. The Bacon Brothers. Yeah, that's not a bad song.
Yeah. Would you call this a must-see movie?
No.
That also, by the way, there is some animation, and they throw some animation early, but it's mostly live action, so don't worry about that if you haven't watched
it. And I love the style of animation because it's the style of animation that was like Heavy Metal, like the movie Heavy Metal.
Yeah. Kind of like
boobage, like it looked like that, which Peter Quill would have seen. I think at that point. When did that come out? Because I secretly love that movie.
Yeah, it was a little like.
Oh yeah, he would have. 81, that movie came out, so he definitely would have seen that.
It was a little Telltale game-ish too, a little bit.
Yeah.
What's your dork score for Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special?
4.5.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna go 4.
Decent.
Yeah, I'll go 4. I liked it. I liked it. I don't know if I'd rewatch it really.
No.
Yeah. All right. 4.5.
I watched it twice to prepare for this, and I'm good there.
Yeah.
But it was funny though, because my wife was like, "Oh, like I didn't watch it yet. Was it any good?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was fine." She's like, "Well, it's for like kids, right?" I'm like, No. She's like, "I don't know. This one of those things. Like, I don't know who this is for."
Yeah, I mean, I guess like we're massive fans of the Guardians, so it's just like more Guardians material, and like you get to highlight. We'll talk about who it really highlights here in spoilers, but like a couple characters, one in particular that probably doesn't get a lot of love in the films. You get more in this, so I think that that part of it I like. But I'll probably go 4. Like I liked it; it was good. Like for free and for 44 minutes, pop it in, give it a watch, and it's a Christmas thing. So if you're looking for Christmas shit to watch, like throw it in. I think it.
Spoilers! Here come the spoilers!
All right, so we find out that the Guardians of the Galaxy have bought Nowhere, the place, from the Collector, and they're kind of living there, and that's like their base of operations. To which I thought, all right, that would be a great television show where the Guardians are based in Nowhere. In each episode, they're doing different missions around the galaxy and going to and exploring different places. And you could do some episodes where all the Guardians are together. You could do one episode where it's just a team up or just one off. You could even, if you wanted to get nuts, you could cross over Loki or Hawkeye or Daredevil or whoever. Like you could do that if you wanted, but I'm like, I never really considered the Guardians as like a TV show, but I'm like, actually, it kind of fits more than some of the other ones do. But
yeah, yeah. I mean, it would have been a nice little crossover there, but
yeah,
it's. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
Joe says it's a terrible idea, so I guess
It's not a terrible. No, he's been. We've been seeing it like you're just okay. We'll talk about Willow in a second. Like, relax.
He's all hot and bothered about Willow.
Relax, man.
Cosmo. We got Cosmo the dog, who's a big part of the comic books. There's like a golden retriever, and he could talk, or he or she could talk. What would you call it? Telepathically?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, but I do love the Russian accent on the dog. I don't know why I thought that was great, but I was like, that's good.
Well, Cosmo first popped up in Guardians in the collector. Like the collector had all that kinds of shit and all kinds of stuff in there. Remember? And like he had Cosmo and like, oh shit. Like I wonder if they're gonna use him. Big part of the comics, part of this team in the comics. And so now it looks like going forward, we're gonna get Cosmo. But
in the game, Cosmo is a big part of the game too.
Oh, is he? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he should be. Should be.
You haven't played that yet either?
No, dude. Well, I just got my PS5 and I don't get any new PS4 games. I still want to.
Oh, if you have the PlayStation Plus, like the second tier one, it's free.
I haven't even played Miles Morales yet. I got to play that.
You have the winter ahead of you, my man. You have just stepped on a hornet's nest here.
All I got to do now is try to make sure my kids aren't sick all the time.
All the time,
constantly. Everybody's always sick.
That stops when they're about 6, by the way.
Great. So I only have fucking 6 more years for one, 3 more years for the other. Awesome. It's a very heavy Mantis Drax combo led movie. Now,
yeah. As much as I love these two characters,
yeah,
I'm surprised that someone gave these actors this many lines.
It was a lot for these two. I wonder if this movie was like, did they film it when they filmed Guardians 3, or they were just like, hey, we have some leftover stuff we want to kind of, not leftover, because not that they filmed this for 3, but they were just like, hey, we have this idea for this, like who's available, and then we'll write around it. Like it felt almost like that, where they're like, all right, we have Drax and we have Mantis for this amount of time. We only have Star-Lord for this amount of time.
He's like, I can give you 3 days.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta go voice track Mario, so I can't do this right now. But yeah, it's very Mantis Drax heavy. On the one hand, I'm glad they were able to highlight Mantis a little bit. And then their whole thing, like how they want to give Star-Lord a Christmas present. They end up kidnapping Kevin Bacon, the whole thing. But this is canon. And really the big takeaway, and for somebody that's like, I'm not going to watch it, what do I need to know? The only thing you really need to know, and I bet they should hit on it in Guardians 3, is that Star-Lord and Mantis are brother-sister.
A little Luke and Leia action going on there.
Yeah, although it's just, well, they're half-brother, half-sister,
half-brother, half-sister, yeah, because they're the same dad.
So Ego. Ego is the father of both Star-Lord and Mantis, to which Star-Lord loves. That is really the holiday spirit there. That was really the gift that he wanted. He didn't want them to kidnap Kevin Bacon, but he's thrilled to know that they're related. So, I mean, that part of it's cool. And that part, I would assume, plays some sort of role in the next movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's got it. I mean, that's the connection. There's a connection between the two of them. And I think it was like there's something that, Star-Lord has been looking for the whole time as a family, like his mom, and find out who his dad is. His dad's kind of a scumbag, but now he's met his sister, and he has a sister, and she's, for all intents and purposes, she's great.
Yeah.
So
I also thought it was a good idea. So last year we got Hawkeye during Christmas, and Hawkeye ended up being sort of like a Christmas show for like MCU characters. And now you have sort of like a Christmas special involving the MCU characters, and you take a couple that aren't from Earth and that have to be explained to, like what Christmas is. Like, all that shit I'm in on. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very heavy with the Christmas stuff, and people buy in very quickly to the Christmas stuff. And the old 97s are playing Christmas songs, even though they don't really understand. I thought that was pretty funny, the first song they play when they don't really understand.
That was good. They're like, we were just told, Kraglin told us. He's like, Kraglin told us about like what you told him about like whatever. Like, it was like a whole
what Rocket told him about like.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
that song was pretty good. It was a pretty good start. So next in the MCU, as we already said, you're going to get Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania, and then we get Guardians 3. So we'll see how all that goes. Anything else on the holiday special?
I mean, it's like one of those things that, like, I think it's a little too. I think the first thing there's like a sex joke or like a dick joke or something like right out of the rip, and I don't think it's for like an 8-year-old.
Probably
like,
not.
My kids can't watch it, but like,
right,
a 13-year-old or like a real big fan would really like this, but it's fine.
But like, would you let your kids watch Infinity War or Endgame right now?
Not yet.
Yeah, so this is probably for like whatever kids are watching that can watch this. Yeah.
But I would I think we watched the Spider-Man movies. And those are fine.
Yeah. That makes sense. It's for sure. All right, let's get to this.
Pick of the bomb.
Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb.
Pick of the bomb. All right, Ryan, would you like to kick, receive, defer, or you may choose at this time to defend a goal?
I will receive this time, and just to give Joe a plug, because I was a little hard on him to start. I will say I was going to say this anyway, but I did watch the first episode of the new Willow series.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Pretty good.
Was it good?
It's pretty good. Yep.
Wow.
And it kind of the first I didn't watch the second episode yet, but it does a really good job of kind of like setting the table, and kind of figuring out like what. Since I had to watch Willow, I guess I watched Willow again. That's another movie I should watch with my kids. I bet they would like that movie. It is a little scary at times, but we'll see. What's happened up until this point, and it does a really good job of like table setting is what I would call it. And so I'm excited to see where it goes from there.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, because that's on Disney Plus right now, streaming as well. I got 2 shows that I forgot were even on, so I ended up going back and like watching all of it, or at least catching up to this point. So that season 4 of Rick and Morty is like 9 episodes in.
Yes,
so I've been watching that. Pretty good. I don't know if they'll ever touch the magic of the first 2 seasons, but it's still a few laughs per episode. And then also for Titans fans, that is on HBO Max, season 4 of Titans. I think they're about 6 episodes in. I like it. It's the worst of the 4 seasons so far.
Boy.
If you didn't like the first 2 or 3 seasons, I can't really recommend it. But if you liked all 3, then like it's more. I will say like some of the characters, Nightwing, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, are great. They're great. They're getting into Lex Luthor now on this one.
Who's played by like John Cryer, right?
No, so John Cryer played Lex Luthor in the Supergirl show.
This is such a DC, such a mess right now. Like
it is a mess, and they even crossed these characters over once with the Arrowverse characters once. That was a while ago, and so I don't know what's going on. I try to just take it for the story that it is. So like when they were doing Deathstroke or like Red Hood, like in previous seasons, it was pretty great. Mm-hmm. This is less than, but I'm still watching it.
It's not that. So I actually have 2 more things that I want to discuss. So did you read? So the guy who played in The Bear, I forget the actor's name.
The lead character in The Bear. Yeah.
Yes. So I was reading an article with him, and he was talking about how he's in the process right now. I don't know if you know about this. He's put on 40 pounds of muscle.
Jeremy Allen White has put on, I knew it was Jeremy something. He put on 40 pounds, and he's going to be in a movie with Zac Efron where they play the Von Erichs. Oh, he's in that Von Erich movie? I saw Zac Efron. So Von Erichs, did you watch the Dark Side on him?
So Jeremy, so Jeremy plays Kerry Von Erich.
The Texas Tornado.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, the Von Erichs are fascinating. There's a Dark Side of the Ring on those guys. Good wrestling documentary show, and that'll be really good. He also said in an interview that as soon as The Bear came out, he got like 10 scripts from A24 movies. Like immediately, every A24 movie was like, we need this guy in it.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
So how about a wrestling movie with him and Zac Efron? Are you excited for that?
Wicked. Yep.
Yeah. Where they play the Von Erichs, they tell the Von Erich story.
Fuck yes.
What a tragic story. It's not fun.
No.
So if you're wondering if that's a jaunty tale, it is not.
No, spoiler, I think there was 5 Von Erich boys, and there's one left.
One left. Yep.
Wow. Yeah, you guys can rate, review, subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts at Dork Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Subscribe there. We stream these bad boys on Monday nights. You can always go back and watch it if you want to do that as well. Next week, Rye, do we want to do the greatest Christmas movie ever made?
I think we might have to, or we put it to a vote. But right now, we're landing on the Muppet Family Christmas, not a Muppet Christmas Carol.
Nope.
Not a Muppet's Christmas.
Nope.
Muppet Family Christmas,
which is available for free right now on YouTube, and you can even search out the 4K version where somebody restored it into like 4K.
Mm-hmm.
It's a TV special, so very similar to this Guardians thing. I think it's 43 minutes start to stop, and it's amazing.
And I think we should do it because pick of the pod. I believe I saw today that Bob from Sesame Street has passed away.
Yes, good point.
Poor Bob.
Sesame Street characters are involved in this. So yeah, that'll be next week's episode. You can watch it anytime between now and then. So A Muppet Family Christmas, the 1987 TV special, and my personal favorite Christmas movie of all time. We will hit on that next week. That'll do it for us. Thanks everybody for watching or listening or downloading or telling a friend or whatever else. That'll do it for us. Rye, you don't give a shit about anything, do you?
What'd you say?
I said you don't give a shit about anything, do you?
Not really.